Okay, YouTube, I'm back. I have to put some clothes on. Let me try to sit this computer. Hold on, give me a second. Really, there's some same little glitches that Unique and Apologetic was getting. So give me a second. Let's see. This should work. Better. Better. Let me see. Maybe, maybe not. Let me see. These cameras are really weird. If I can get it to focus. Okay, YouTube, I'm back. Like I said earlier, I had to write things down to process what I'm going to talk about. And that means I think that it's coming from a unique place that nobody can, uh, you know, copy or emulate. So we're all made uniquely and, you know, uh, one vessel. So when people are out here attempting, and I've seen a lot of that where a lot of people are going and trying to steal and make different accounts under people's pictures, and they'll get caught up soon enough. I mean, I would just, share with the world, don't worry about the copycats. Do what you can do and then go forward. If they don't really have good sense to know that that's wrong, then the Most High will show them that it's wrong. So just uh, again, it's coming from a place of from within me, and that's how I process from spirit, my spirit. But I still do need to go through my rehabilitation or counseling based on what I experienced, what I was put through. If you watch some of the other videos, you would kind of know a little bit about that. But today we're going on this video, I'll just talk a little bit about uh, you can choose either faith or fear. We have the free will to choose what we want to embody every day we wake up. The first 20 minutes that you get up, you choose how your day is going to go. You choose uh, how your emotions will uh, how your emotions will play a part in your day. And so uh, yeah, we have the free will to choose fear or faith. And so in BARUK, I was reading the Apocrypha, and I found in second BARUK. But let me take that back, because the Apocrypha has only the first BARUK. So I had to pull out my Sefer Bible. In the Sefer Bible, it does have a second BARUK in it. And so when you look in second BARUK, it talks about, um, you know, how we first went into uh, slavery. And the Most High did give us warning that there was going to be a nation to come and just pillage and rape and take over and steal, destroy, all of that. He warned us, but we didn't take heed to that warning, and so that's why our forefathers, you know, was sent, and foremothers was sent into the captivity, where we still stand as of today, as we're coming out. This is this is the beginning of we're being released, because Pluto is here doing some damage. Pluto is Hades. Hades is Pluto. Pull up the Blue Letter Bible and look it up. It's called research. So it was awesome to find that out through Big Judah and Big Levi, those guys. That was awesome. But going back to the topic, yeah, our forefathers were led into captivity, whereas in verse 4, in second Baruch, God said, unto the city shall be delivered up for a time. Now, when he says delivered up for a time, that means it's not going to be forever. And so the next verse says, and the people shall be chastened during a time. Same thing there. It's going to happen. It happened. It seemed like it was forever, but now that actual generational curse is being lifted. We are being relieved by the Most High God. So he said that the people shall be chastened during a time, and the world will not be given over to oblivion. Now, that scripture basically states that uh, as the, I would say, the enemy, because in Revelation, and I think it's in Daniel too, where the Most High talked about giving the kingdom over to Satan for a time, for 1,260 days. He was given that time to run his kingdom, was he not? I would say he did. And so while he was tearing and ripping up and doing whatever he could do, and uh, his attempt on snatching as many of the Most High's people as he could in his time frame, that time is now up. So that's what the Most High means by the world will not be given over to oblivion, meaning that the enemy will not be able to totally destroy the world. And so the third verse, going down to the third verse, it says, this building now built in your midst is not that which is revealed with me. Again, this building now built in your midst is not that which is revealed of me. Remember, he was speaking to Baruch. He was talking to Baruch, okay? So when he was talking to him, he was letting him know the building that was built at that time. When you think about building, you have to say to yourself, okay, where does the Most High dwell? He dwells in vessels. What are vessels? Vessels are people, his people. So as his people, if you look at the the other meaning of building, building is a people. That's what he's describing. Because people are built up in the body of Christ. Okay. And so to make that body, it has to be different parts and different pieces. That person does their thing. This person does their thing over here. And this other person runs their platform that way. But as everybody is building, that big puzzle is being put together. We are the pieces of that big puzzle, which is called a building. So he was telling Baruch that the people that was our people that was there standing with him, that had judgment upon them, was not going to be the people revealed to him, in meaning that his actual gospel, his word, his spirit, because they were under judgment, if that makes sense. They were in trouble. Trouble was on their way. So on its way. So if you go further down, let's see here. Um, when Adam transgressed the commandment, it was removed from him as also paradise. So I kind of explained that. And it was basically, if you look at it, it's a process that the Most High is doing. Things don't happen like that. He can make it happen in a second, but he was still showing mercy and grace and giving our people the time to turn back to him, which we did not. Our forefathers did not, foremothers did not. And so, uh, let's see, the next verse, in the fifth verse, Baruch was speaking to God that he was destined, to grieve for Zion. Zion is a kingdom. It's a word for a kingdom. And I haven't really done a lot of research on that word, but you get the gist of it. But I'm going by what's specifically in the Sefer. And so Zion caused the enemies. Oh, no, 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 no. Let me reread. Let me reread that. In the fifth verse, Baruch was speaking to God that he was destined to grieve for Zion, because the enemies will come and pollute the sanctuary and lead God's inheritance, heirs, into captivity and make themselves masters of those that God loves. That's what it says. My bad. And so, um, what's awesome about that, God, let us know. Our forefathers, He told us, um, a nation will come up on you and they will pollute the sanctuary and lead you into captivity. So that's what happened. And again, we're going to get to the point of choosing fear or faith. And so the next scripture, verse 5, no, chapter 5 and verse, second verse. The Most High said, uh, my name and my glory are unto all eternity. So his name will never be wiped away. Now, we don't know his true name because we got people saying God. We got people say Yah. People saying Yahuwah. We got people speaking Hawa. We got people saying Ah. That's AH, Ah. Uh, we have people speak Allah. And so, according to, I believe it's your culture, how you were brought up, that is the name that you are familiar with. And so I don't knock that because that's not my place, nor do I have the ability to even decipher that in mind or even fathom what his true name is. We don't know. I'm not going to make that an argument. We're going to go forward. So check this out. As the Most High said, and my judgment shall maintain its right in its own time. So when we know that previously in Baruch that we went into captivity, our forefathers, right? And he made a statement that uh, his name and his glory are unto all eternity. That's even now, right today. And his judgment shall maintain its right in its own time, meaning that he allowed the enemy to do what he was sent to do. He allowed it. People cry and fuss. Why would God let this happen? And we can't question God. We can't question God. We have to realize that it's done for a reason. Nothing is coincidental because coincidence is not a word in the Most High's vocabulary. That's man's vocabulary. Now, peep this. His judgment shall maintain its right in its own time. Look at that from our perspective. That means, hmm, okay, if we in captivity or you know what I'm saying, and the Most High's judgment will maintain its right in its own time. And he gave us signs and symbols to know the season. Then that means you're not going to let it last forever. Awesome, right? Did you get it? I hope y'all get it. Anyway, so as the army in let's do verse uh, chapter 6 verse 1, as the army circled around the city, Baruch left the people and just went ahead and stood by an oak tree, right? And so I'm just kind of breaking this down in layman's terms. It is, you can actually pull it up and see that it says that. But uh, by this tree, he grieved and lamented. He was, crying. He was upset because he saw that the captivity was on the people. It was upon the people at that point. Okay. And then suddenly a strong ruach came unto Baruch and raised him. Now, ruach means spirit. Ruach is Hebrew for spirit, a spirit, an angel, a spirit. The ruach raised Baruch and held him alive over the wall of Jerusalem so he could witness what the Most High wanted him to see for the sake of the end of evil's rule. Feel me? So, uh, if there's no report of how God moved, then how would we have hope in what's to come? So he allowed Baruch to be raised. He sent the angel. Angel raised him up so he could see. Now, as he was in the air, did I wash my eyebrows right? Shame on me. As he as he was in the air, Baruch was allowed to see four angels standing at the four corners of the city. Okay, and so each of them was holding a torch of fire in his hands. While the nation was coming in to ravage the people and take over and take pillage, the angels was right there. That means the presence of the Most High was there. And so he saw another angel which began to descend, from heaven, coming down unto them, and told the other angels, the other four, he said, hold your lamps and do not light them until I tell you to. For I am first to speak a word to earth and to place in it what was sent by the Most High that had commanded him to do so. Okay. Baruch was allowed to witness this. That's so good. And so knowing that angels was also basically helping the enemy to do what they were supposed to do to our forefathers. That's what that is. Wow. God's will be done. That's all I'm saying. Awesome. And so when we think about, different sieges or wars and stuff taking place, such as now, what's happening right now, Russia and Ukraine, okay? You better know it's angels over there doing their thing as well. Ascended masters, benevolent ancestors, our ancestors, benevolent ancestors, are in their places to assure that God's will be fulfilled. They're here. They're doing their thing. It's time. So man alone did not have, the common sense without the Most High to create an earthly army, if you think about it. Just to kind of look at that as well. The military, for example, how did they know to make and create different ranks? Who gave them that mindset that we need a general here and a sergeant there, and then put some people under them? And then you tell these soldiers what to do and where to go. That's the same thing as how the Most High runs and the angels. So we got archangels. We got some higher angels. I don't know what the seraphims, and them some fiery angels, I believe. Um, we've got guardian angels. We've got ascended masters, and then we have the benevolent ancestors. They're all in place doing their thing, just like we are supposed to be here on earth plane, enjoying ourselves, yet having a godly experience in this earthly body, but at the same time to do our part in helping a brother or a sister along the way to pull them out of the mud and mire of what the last kingdom buried everybody in. We ignorantly didn't know, a lot of us. There were some people who did know and did their will. Anyway, anywho, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, shoot, these wars, it's like the Most High is always there. So to choose faith and to know that everything is still under his control is awesome to know. And it's a feeling of comfort. Know that his rod and his staff is right there. All we got to do is call on him. So let me go to the next page. What else did I have? Okay, the next verse said, what is that? Five, the fifth verse. I think I'm still on. Did I write that down right? And as I go, I think I'll get more organized. This is kind of, hmm, it's a lot that I think I want to say, and I'm just getting overwhelmed. But anyway, excuse me, you two. If we say unto them, it says, the Most High said, if if they ask you, for how long should this happen? How long has God brought upon us this retribution? That's what I want to get out. The Most High said, and this is in verse 5, say unto them, you and those like you, who shall have seen this evil. So that means they've already seen the evil come up on another people, which was us, our people. Now that the actual uh, the tables have turned, and the Most High said, the same things that have been done unto my chosen ones will be done unto the other nations. So basically, that's what he's talking about. That those like you who shall have seen this evil, and they saw us go into captivity. This is the evil and retribution which is coming to you and upon your people in its destined time, that the nations may be thoroughly smitten. I mean, he said it out his own mouth. I didn't say it. I'm the middleman. I'm the middleman. So if any other nation, or ethnicity, person of ethnicity, whatever, or it sometimes it's not about ethnicity. It's the blood. I believe it goes, just that deep as you know who you are, you know what role you play. So it just, apply it where it falls. But basically, he's telling us that this is the evil and retribution that is coming upon to your people in its destined time. Again, he allowed evil to do and run its course until So much of it was done that it reached the heavens, and the Most High said, okay, time, time is up. The celebrities been yelling it since what, 2018, 2017, probably. That's what they were speaking of. That that verse or that phrase, time is up. Time's up. They were speaking of that kingdom, that particular kingdom back then, 2018, 2017, 2019. It's up. The time's up. It's done. It's finished. It is over. And so at that point, it was up to people to choose what side they was going to roll on, just in layman's terms. I'm trying to connect spirituality with this material realm in layman's terms, if that makes sense. Because when we went to the churches, okay, we used to go to church. The church would say, maybe read a few verses or something like that, right? And then they would add on their stories. In a sense, we could actually we could understand to a level, but it wasn't connecting to the point where it really mattered to everybody. It really didn't connect. There was not a full connection there, which still to me left a void. That's why I came out of the church. There's nothing I could do there. Uh, but yeah, and it says here further, and they shall be in anguish. Again, he says in 7 verse, and if they say at that time, for how long? He says in 8, you will say to them, ye who have drunk the dregs, the judgment of the lofty one who has no respect of persons. Now, I kind of stopped there because I think I want to make a second part, but I didn't understand what dregs was, and I just kind of looked it up, and it says the dregs is the worst and the lowest part of something. Then it made sense to me because we were the lowest in the world. They made us the worst part of the peoples. We were tagged and labeled as this and that. And it was by any authority, it was by any nation, and it was by any system that was set up against us. And so now that things are changing, we are being lifted out if we allow the Most High to lift us out. If we continue to stay where we are, if you're comfortable in the old way of being, in other words, then you pretty much telling yourself that you're comfortable where you at. I'm going. Bye. I'm out. I'm out. Long story short, long story short, the Most High has allowed the enemy to do things for a time to us. And if you choose fear, they will continue that same behavior only by your will. When you ride on faith and know that the Most High got your back, they can't touch you. Enemy can't touch you. You hear me? And they could throw up any facade and any illusion, any scare tactic, all that crap they used to, the gang stalking and messing with your car. And I've been through it. I've been through it. The Most High told me to just keep going. You know what this is. You got something to do for the kingdom. And right now, he got me in the beginning stages. I'm a little rough right now around the edges, which is okay. I'm cool with that. But in my own skin, my own authenticity, me, not looking to be like somebody else or trying to be uh, uh, like that channel or this channel. I'm trying to perfect my channel into uh, passing along information that people would need to again come up out of her, my people. That's what the scripture says. Uh, come out of her, my people. It's time, y'all. And the Most High is still, it's a process, just like when the nations were coming, when they were on their way to come up on our forefathers. It didn't happen right away. It was a process. He had told them some years. It was some years that they had a chance to, return to the Most High. And again, now he's given us some time to come out. Use this time to come out the best way you can. It's not really something you could do overnight. It is a process, and he's giving you that time. We have the time right now, but uh, we still we still need to move. We need to make some type of movement, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna get off here, YouTube, and I'm gonna keep pushing my little messages the best way I know how. And spirit processes things to me in ways that I couldn't imagine, but I get it. I understand it. And I hope you understand it too. I hope that I'm making sense, in other words. So you can share this message, you can comment and give me some pointers and tips. I accept criticism, it doesn't bother me. I've been criticized my whole life, so I'm used to it. I'm numb to it. I use criticism as a stepping stone. Let it take you higher. You feel me? That's it. I don't look at it in a negative way. If people, try to use criticism to hurt others, that's their nasty attitudes and their nasty character. Let them deal with that. Let the Most High, and them, that's their business. But when criticism comes to me, I look at it as a way of learning. And don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. I know what to filter. Because if you saying some stuff and you think you trying to tell me, I know what to filter, you know. So, YouTube, thank you. And I'll be back with another message. And as I continue to mess with my channel and play with it, I'm learning. This is a learning process for me. And it's fun at the same time uh, during this pandemic, spiritual pandemic as well. If nobody sees that it's a spiritual pandemic, it's a period of time for people to raise up out of this old way of being and renew your mind. And also, the Most High is making it for the good of his his kingdom. The actual pandemic is doing what it's doing. If you covered, you covered. If you're not covered, get covered. Call on the Most High. All right, YouTube. I love you. Like, subscribe, and share. Comment. And I'll see you when I see you.